Okay, today's video is going to do a few little basic checks on the ZSB. It's the end of the week. It's a bit wintry, the weather, so slightly different maintenance we do in the winter. But basically, the bike's had a week of commuting backwards and forwards, so it's basically the weekly checks. Here we go. Okay, no particular order. First thing I'll do is going to check the chain. So I'll just get it here, the middle point, and yeah, it's a little bit slack. It's not really essential that we'll do that, but I think we'll just tweak that chain up a little bit, just a bit. It seems nice and clean. I can't see any damage to it. Everything looks fine. Back wheel's spinning nicely, nice and free. I think it just needs just a tiny bit of a tweak up. It's not essential, but okay. 90mm spanner. Sucking the big nut off. Let me just slacken these ones off. I've got two here just to make sure it doesn't move. Just gonna tweak that up. Slacken that one off there. Slacken that one off. And I'm just going to tweak that up. Maybe quarter of a turn. Yeah, quarter of a turn. Same on the other side. Slacken off. Quarter of a turn. Tweak them back up again. Check the chain. Yeah, that's about the right tension. Some people might struggle with how tight to get this. So I tend to, a decent size 90mm spanner. I'm going to hold it near the end. I'm going to give it a good pull. I'm going to hold it right near the end. There, so that's pretty tight. There's a little tiny tweak more. So I would say that is fairly to quite tight. That's all it needs. It just needs to be tight enough so that it doesn't come loose. That's all. Okay, so the chain's not too bad at the moment. Because it's winter, I'm just going to keep it a bit more lubed than I would normally in the summer. So I like this stuff. It's a rock oil. All the rock products are very good. They have a big racing team. They're into the bikes. They test them. They're good stuff, really. So we'll just give the chain a bit of a spray over. Okay, bike's not in gear. And keep my fingers well away from it. Like some people like to do it with the engine running. And that's not really worth it, really. Just give it a bit of a spin, and then just here in the corner with the sprocket and the chain. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep spinning it for a bit, just to circulate that oil in. Oh, good. I'm just going to leave it like that. Chains, a real pain in the neck. Frequent maintenance and just a little bit of maintenance, not too much oil. Much better to put a little bit of oil on often than loads of oil and then let it all wash off. Okay, second job, we'll just go and check the engine oil. Apparent in this video, but you can see that the actual the bike sits quite high when it's on the centre stand, so it actually leans forward quite a bit. And because the oil window is near the front of the engine, I think it gives a bit of a positive reading on the window if you measure the bike on the flat. So I've actually got the bike on a bit of a slope. I know it's not apparent in the video, but I've got the bike on a little bit of a slope, just to try and equalise it out. It's not much, but I don't suppose it makes a huge amount of difference. But you can see that oil is just a tiny bit too low. It's probably getting down towards the halfway mark. I would recommend that you run these Lexmoto engines with the oil right up near the full mark. You hardly got any oil in them to begin with, so and number one failure I find is people running them out of oil, so I always keep that oil topped up. So I'm going to just top that up a bit. Okay, I think I've mentioned oil before on this, my thoughts on running little Chinese bikes or even little Hondas, little 4-stroke bikes. It's just to use a cheap oil, but change it extremely frequently. I'm really not a fan of leaving this oil in so much with engines that are very heavy on oil, have no filtration system, and use very little oil. You know, the quantity is very small, so I would rather use a cheap oil that exceeds the specification but change it extremely frequently. I don't want to get bogged down in it anyway. I know it's everyone's going to have a disagreement, and I must use a motorcycle oil and I must use Mobil 1 and this and that. No. Frequent changes are really the way forward. with these engines. There's no filtration on him, so if it gets muck in it, it's only got the little centrifugal filter. You just need to keep changing the oil in them all the time, checking the oil level. It doesn't take to lose much oil for the level to drop, so keep that level up near the top. I'm changing frequently now on this bike. I'm changing oil every 500 miles. Certainly no more than every 1,000 miles. It's a lot more healthy. I tend to not really use the dipstick here. Just make sure you don't misplace your O-ring off your dipstick. Pop that back in. Careful not to cross-thread it, it's on the plastic, so okay. Alright. Okay, so the next check we're going to do is just going to go and check all the lights. With it being winter, probably going to be going out in the morning. It might be dark. So it's going to be dark when you're coming home. So let's just give a quick electrical check. So we've got daytime riding light on. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, okay, we're good there. And we should have our tail lights. And we do. Okay, let's check our headlights out. So low, high, yeah, okay. Right. Check the stop lamp. Good way to check the stop lamp when you're by yourself. Get your foot onto the whatever brake it is. Put your hand out. You can just see, and if you press it, you should see it go brighter. Yeah. Spot check on the indicators. I hate the way there's no real flasher on modern bikes. Why? I like to hear that click. Okay, right. That'll do us. Maybe the horn. Okay. Another little check just worth doing. This is not really the right stuff really. Should really use a bit of WD-40 or AC-50 or whatever it's called. Something that's a bit more water dispersant than this, but I just give the little plug cap. It's a little spray over there. It's prone to water damage, and the side stand switch. Just give that a little spray, just help keep the water off it. Another thing I like to lube it. I always like to just. It sounds to be a bit sticky, this, so I just like to keep this lube. This is the right stuff, I guess, for this job. Okay, and the last check is to check the tyre pressures. .24, yeah. I'm happy with that. It's a little bit low. We should be up about. I think we run these about 29 back and front. It's a little bit low. Probably do it a little bit putting into the front. Let's just double check the back. .27, so the front's gone down a little bit. Might just put a few pounds in the front. Again, I'm going to stress the importance of having good tyre pressures. Keep them tyre pressures as close as you can. I know new riders are tempted to leave it, or car drivers will be tempted just to let it go. You won't get away with it on a bike. The bike will handle strangely with the wrong tyres, especially in the front. Wrong tyre pressure, especially in the front tyre. You don't want it white lining or doing anything weird in the bend, so just keep them tyre pressures up. It doesn't take a sec to do. .29. I'll do. Okay, that's about it really. In the summer it's not so important, but I like to just keep bits which are prone to a bit of corrosion. Handlebars, fork legs, back plate on on the brake. Also there'll be a shocks also prone to getting a bit of corrosion. Not much you can really do really, but just helps to keep the bike